I think I kind of look like a cross between avoiding relegation and Tommaso Ciampa. Cool. Yes, hello there everybody. Welcome back to the channel. Dodger Gamer here, International Manager of Mystery, managing obscure nations so you don't have to. And we're back again with familiar foes. It's Jamaica once again, but this time we've jumped forward to 2029 and it's the start of the final stage of our World Cup qualifying program. So last episode we completed the Nations League, got ourselves promoted up to Division A. We then had mainly friendlies through the beginning of 2028. Decent results. We had a defeat to Costa Rica, but we beat El Salvador. We travelled to Africa, got a draw against Gabon, a late equaliser for them, and we beat Guinea as well. We then played Iraq at home, a bit of a barn burner there, 3-3. Thought we'd won it with a late goal, and then they equalised in injury time. We then had Jordan, who we beat 4-1. Again, I was targeting teams about 15 to 20 places above us in the world rankings to try and boost ourselves. Then we got to the start of World Cup qualifying. We were paired with Bahamas in the first round, and we went and beat them at Bahamas. They are ranked about 200th in the world, so by this stage, a good 100 places below us. We went to Bahamas and won 5-0, and then we came back to the Cayman Islands and we beat them 11-0 for a 16-0 aggregate win. Rundle opening the scoring early. Carson Solomon again with a couple of goals. Skeet scored. Moxham Elliott, who's like, our more defensive midfield player, got a hat-trick. James Rigg with a brace. David Woodroach and Neville Coleman all getting in on the action as well. The scoring was over by 72 minutes. That is one of the biggest victories I've ever had on any football manager. And we rounded the year off, a couple of friendlies. We beat St. Vincent and then we beat Grenada. Close games, but a bit of rotation, trying out some younger players and some new faces as well. Then World Cup qualifying, another knockout round ahead of the group stage. Familiar foes yet again, Dominican Republic. Well, as we trounced them so easily in the last episode, I thought, there's no need to record this one. It was a 1-0 victory away. Carson Solomon unfortunately got himself sent off in the first half, but Nkuma Fagan, new player that we'll have a look at in a minute, managed to give us the win on that day. Second leg, it was just a really scrappy game, very tight game, not many chances for either side. It finished 0-0. They never really threatened us, but, after that 16-0 victory in the previous round, a 1-0 aggregate win was a bit of a come down. Anyway, we then got drawn into the group stage. Now this group stage, I'll bring up the group for you here. This is basically top two go to the World Cup. It's that simple. So we're going to play 6 games. Top 2 go to the World Cup. Third place has a chance. There are 3 groups, I believe, in the North American qualifying. Yep, there are. I'll bring them all up. The 2 best third place teams then go into a playoff. So, it's quite generous, the road to the World Cup here. But we've been drawn. We avoided USA and Mexico, so that's good. We avoided Costa Rica, Honduras, Canada, and so on. So we got Cuba, probably the weakest team left in the competition, so that's great. We've got Curacao, who, we've struggled against before, but I think we can beat. And then Jamaica, who of course trounced us at the 2027 Gold Cup just a couple of episodes ago, so we'll be out for a measure of revenge against them. Looking at the fixtures, we've got to target points from all our home games. We've got to be targeting wins against Cuba and Curacao. Jamaica, well, a win would be nice. Draw would be, we'd be happy with that, as long as we avoid defeat. Similar kind of thing away to Curacao. If we can avoid defeat there, if we can get a draw, maybe sneak a win, that's going to set us up in a great position. Cuba, we've got to be looking to beat them home and away. Jamaica away is going to be tough, but I think if we can win our home games, and if we can beat Cuba as well, away, and if we can pick up a point from Curaçao away, that's going to be enough to get top 2. You'll also notice the Gold Cup is coming up, so that's going to be in the next episode. We've been drawn in a group, Group D, bit of a mixed group this one. We've got the biggest team of them all, as far as CONCACAF goes, Mexico in our group. We've also got Grenada, who are likely to be something of whipping boys in the group, and then a bit of a dark horse, unknown quantity in Martinique. They're one of those nations that's not ranked by FIFA, but they have got a very good team. They've done well in the competition so far, so we can't take anything for granted there. Right, so just to bring you up to speed on the squad, a couple of things to note out. David Wood-Roach, the young centre-back, we can see now wanted by Villa and Tottenham, now valued at £27.5 million. So I think he's developing nicely. He played 20 times for Manchester United in the Premier League this season and 6 times in the Champions League as well. Emerson Skeet also grows continually in world football. You see, he's now at Liverpool, valued at £84 million. Big money move from Barcelona for him. So he's also been playing in the Premier League, obviously. 32 appearances there, 8 appearances in the Champions League this season. Look at those average ratings, lots of green that we see there. And if we have a look at his milestones here, we can see won the Carabao Cup with Liverpool as well. And if I just go back here for the transfer, £98 million, the most expensive Cayman Island player ever. New faces of note, this guy, Nkouma Fagan, gives us a bit more option on the left side. This was an interesting one because he came through as Spanish with Cayman Islands, second nationality. We were eventually able to persuade him to turn out for us. So here we go then, opening day of the World Cup qualifying, final phase, group stage, Jamaica. One of our toughest opponents. They're favourites for the game, of course. This is how we're lining up. Ribeiro in goal. Wilson and Wood-Roach partnering in defence. Lee Banks and Cupid in the full-back position. Skeet and Moxham Elliott in the centre of defence. The dynamic duo. Coleman, Solomon and Fagan with our attacking midfield threat, and Rig up front. One thing is we have lost a couple of players. I forgot to mention that. Andrew Lewis, you might remember, was our main goal scorer not so long ago. He's unfortunately spent all season without a club and he's just retired. Right, flat 4-4-2 from Jamaica. Last time I think we made a mistake in that we dropped the attacking midfielder and had a defensive midfielder in there. This time we're sticking to our attacking guns. It's worked for us before. Let's see if it'll work again. So I told the lads, reminded them that we're underdogs. Get out there and, cause an upset, stir things up, send ripples across the world of CONCACAF football. Okay, I think this journalist has been a bit clever. He's pointing out that Jamaica are the lowest goal scorers in the World Cup qualifying. Yeah, they haven't played a match yet, that's why. Right then, we're ready for a kick-off. Cayman Islands in their red strip, Jamaica in their traditional yellow and green. Let's see if we can sneak a surprise win here. Right, first highlight of the game coming almost half an hour in, and it's Jamaica on the attack. It's a wild shot, not going anywhere near the goal. That's been it so far as the action goes, but we have another highlight here. Unfortunately, it seems to be all Jamaica. We'd like to see some Cayman Island attacking action. But Beckford, good save from Ribeiro. It's a corner to Jamaica. Can we survive this bit of pressure? Can we keep the dream going? Yes, we can. Solomon, who's been so vital for us with his goals in recent games, plays it out to Rig. Now they've swapped over. Solomon's in the middle, but Rig gives it away. That's no good, and it looks like Fagan's in trouble. Luckily, though, not a red card. Right, here we go. Chance for a quick break for us. Fagan speeds down the left, cuts inside. Terrible shot. Should have done pretty much anything else with that. Okay, pretty scrappy, disappointing first half. We did start to kind of edge it there towards the end. We see Cuba took the lead against Curaçao, but then by half-time they were 2-1 behind. Interesting, we've been kind of compressed centrally. We haven't been able to get it out wide that much. And you can see here, no crosses completed, no chances for Rig to put away. Right, I went with I'm not happy about your performance, just because I knew that would fire them up. Tactically, I'm thinking that we go for the overlap, particularly on the left or the right. We're going to take off play out of defence and go a bit more direct. And we're off highlight as soon as we start the second half. That's ominous. It's Jamaica who've kicked off. We need to get them under some pressure, carry forward that momentum we were building towards the end of the first half. Of course, they've probably had the team talk, made some adjustments, riled up their players, but here we go. Fagan picks it up. Ooh, bit of a rough tackle there, but the referees let that one go, and now Beckford's bearing down on goal. Side netting. Ooh, free kick for us in a dangerous position. It's Skeet. We've seen him score these before, and we see him score one again. Beautiful curling free kick over the wall and just out of reach of the keeper. Oh, we definitely got to have a look at that one again. Oh, beautiful angle. Look at that. Just over the top corner of the wall. The keeper did get a touch to it, but it wasn't enough. Skeet's given us the lead. Oh, Jamaica looking for a way back into the game here. Let's not give it to them. Come on. Let's, at least hold on to this lead for a little bit. Don't be like the Cuba-Curacao game where Cuba scoring a goal prompted their opponents to, put the pressure on and score a couple in quick succession. But we managed to cope with that attack. And now Fagan's got it. What can he do here? Plays it inside to Moxham Elliott. Whoa! Thunderbolt from Moxham Elliott. Wow. Take that, Jamaica. Oh, I'm almost tempted to say, Jamaican, it looks so easy. Moxham Elliott, look at that. Boom. Oh, more highlights straight from the kickoff. No respite in this game today. This is an action-packed second half. Scrappy first half, but it's all action in the second half. Come on, let's win the ball off them and launch another counter-attack. We don't want Jamaica to get a lifeline now when we've worked so hard to put ourselves 2-1 up. Corner to Jamaica now. And finally, they get the goal back just before the hour. Not quite sure what happened there. The camera did seem to spin around quite quickly. But, it was drilled in towards that far post with two defenders there. It's pretty disappointing that they couldn't deal with it. As we're still winning, I just put out a praise shout to the team to fire them up, to give them that boost and that confidence as we approach the final 15 minutes. It's going to make a substitution. We're looking to get some tired legs, some underperforming players. Solomon is not doing the business today. So I'm going to bring on a youngster, Anthony Robinson, just come through at the Manchester United Youth Academy, 17 years old. So he's played one game for us already, as you'll see. If I can just get it to hover there for a while. So we'll bring him on, fresh legs. Also going to bring on Neville Rowe for Fagan. Again, it's just about fresh legs, having an outlet for the defenders to clear to, bit of pace to run at those tired fullbacks. Oh, we're getting close to the end of the game now, and it's a corner for the Cayman Islands, but it goes straight to the keeper, and we never like it when this happens, because that usually means there's a counter-attack coming straight away. Well, but good, we've won it back. We've won it back from the keeper's ball. Robinson, though, again, the attack just breaks down. I think this is building up eventually. Hopefully just to a Jamaica chance and not a goal. Thank you, Pennant, for shooting so wide. Right, final substitution, purely for time-wasting purposes. Jonas Stewart, a young striker, he's playing at Sutton in League 2, but we're just going to give him a cap. Get him out there. I mean, he's not particularly fast, but he'll just... His purpose is just to help us kill some of this final 2 minutes. And I think, come on, we went over the added on time, but we've done it. We've beaten Jamaica. We've got our win back over Jamaica after that Gold Cup quarter-final. Pretty even match in the end if we're looking at the shots and the possession as well. But we edged it. Home advantage paid. What a great result, we tell the team. Everybody's delighted. Fantastic start to this World Cup qualifying campaign. Curacao, we can see in the end, we're able to beat Cuba. Late goal they needed to do that. So, this is a pretty wide open group, it's got to be said. By the way, should have mentioned this at the top of the show. We're now well entrenched in the top 100 of the world rankings. You can see here we're gone up to 84th with that Nations League success and now World Cup qualifying success. That's seen us just continue that rise upwards. So I'm now going to play the Curacao game off camera. I'll update you on the result of that when we come back for our next episode, which will be the opening games of our Gold Cup group. So probably next time we'll go for the 2 games against Martinique and Grenada. We'll give the Mexico game its own episode, and then hopefully we'll have a quarter-final to play in. After that, let me know what you think of our chances in the Gold Cup, what you think of our chances in World Cup qualification. It's close, I can feel it. But for now, thank you very much for watching. Please hit that like button if you've enjoyed today's episode, subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. I'm Dodgy Gamer. See you again soon.